Good day all, welcome back to Cruisin Classics YouTube channel. Today we have for you a 1936 Ford four-door slant back sedan. And it is quite the piece of street rod machinery. Restoration on this vehicle took place back before the year 2000, but it's been driven less than 5,000 miles since then. Well taken care of and loved. And shows up here today wearing a nice looking coat of Washington blue paint with some tasteful pinstriping done in fuchsia and light blue. You'll see right there an example of the pinstripes. The first thing that grabs the eye with this car is, of course, the great big gorgeous chrome front grille and those massive headlights. You can see the grille is in excellent condition, sporting a Ford emblem at the top. Nice looking chrome all the way down. We've got the protruding V8 at the top, and to make things even cooler, we've got ourselves a Ford/Lincoln Greyhound at the top, and we believe this to actually be an original. They do make repops of these, but there's a couple features about it that I've read about that lead me to believe it's original. It's not supposed to extend beyond the V8, and it doesn't. Its front paws just reach it. Looking at the back, the tail is not connected to the hind leg. And up underneath of it, you can tell that it's a male Greyhound. I know that's a little coarse, but that's how they say you can tell whether they're real or not. Looking at the front end, you've got an original style stainless steel front bumper with a little curve down in the center. Massive, huge egg-shaped headlights. Look at the size of them. They're absolutely gargantuan. Along with some really nice chrome on the side, accentuating these hood vents. It's a steel car with the exception of the front fenders, which are both fiberglass. You wouldn't know unless you go to put a magnet on them. They blend in perfectly with the car, look great. As you look down the side of the car, you can see the most exciting exterior feature, which is the fact that it is a four-door with suicide door for the rear. Very cool. Wheel and tire treatment. We've got aluminum alloy rims with spinner knockoffs, BF Goodrich radial TAs in the front, and BF Goodrich long trail radials in the rear. Solid steel running boards with nice black mats, and I'll actually stand on that right now. Let me get up on it, and I'll show you the real nice, like new, black vinyl top on here. It looks really sharp. Looks like it was just done yesterday. Dual black side mirrors, and as you can see, you've got the juxtaposed handles there for the doors, and those are period correct handles, and they're not all loosey-goosey like you'll normally find on here. These are pretty solid. Frequently on these 30s cars, those handles are the first thing to really start to go. In the rear, you can see it is not a trunk back car, it is just a slant back car. And to the rear, they have attached a hard shell chrome and body color spare holder with some more tasteful pinstriping. The rear tail lights are really cool elongated features. They come off of the rear fenders, and on the driver's side you've got a chrome gas cap there. Underneath, poking out from both sides, you can see some awesome chrome tipped trumpeted exhausts, and they sound fabulous once the vehicle started up, and there's more reason why under the hood, and I'll show you that in a few. A non-OEM antenna has been added back here onto the rear fender support to pull in radio stations, and you can see the tail light extension on this side without a gas cap. It's a very cool feature. I like the way they did those. Looks slick. Again, looking down the sides of the car, it is a nice straight car. Gaps are good, doors close really nice. You see a little bit more of that pinstriping there. That's about as radical as it gets right in that section. I don't see it as being a traditional feature of this car, but somebody has put a Ford emblem or badge right there on the rear side door. Now that we're back up to the front of the car again, I am going to open both sides of the hood, and we will join you in a moment to talk about all the cool stuff that's behind that grille. And we are back with the 1936 Ford four-door slant back, and we've got the hood up both sides. As you can see, they're folding hood doors, and they've got a nice little prop right here that folds out that you can hold them up with, which expose the non-Ford engine. This would have a 221 flathead V8 in it, probably about all 85 horsepower from factory. This has a Chevy 350. We checked the casting number and the suffix code on it. It tells us it's a 1970, 300 plus horsepower, 4-bolt main, really nice 350 Chevy engine. It's apparently had some work done to it. We were told by the previous owner that when he got the car, they told him it was bored 30 over and had a performance cam in it. And while we can't tell that for sure, it certainly feels like it's got a lot of pep in its step. There's no doubt about the fact that this engine wants to get up and run. Like I said, stock 300 horsepower, and if they've played with it, it's surely what they said it was. Underneath, you can see we've got an Edelbrock Performer intake, a Holley 4-barrel carburetor. We've got this real nice double-sided brushed aluminum Holley air intake, wrapped headers down below. Got a newer looking distributor. The AC compressor, it is a vintage AC and heat unit, and we believe that the reason it is inoperative is because of the way they've plumbed it here. It's not hard lined in with compression fittings, and we think that that's part of the reason why. These will just leak right out and you'll lose your Freon. I don't think it'd be all that difficult to fix, but I am not an air conditioning installation expert either. The Walker radiator up front was re-cored back in 2008 under current ownership, and that was only about 2,500 miles ago. You can see the finned Chevy logo valve covers. You can see a power steering fill there. Steering this car is exceptionally easy. It's got a Mustang 2 front end. It's got some upgraded suspension components, and with the power steering, it is easy to drive around town, no doubt about it. The 350 is mated up to a turbo 350 3-speed automatic transmission with a 10-bolt rear end. So speedy, torquey, fun, and it fires up on the drop of a dime. What a great engine to put in this car. Let's go take a quick look at the interior. Normally I don't open a back door first, but in this case I want to show you just the kind of treatment you get when you open this back door. It's so easy to step right in. There's so much legroom back here. The back seat is gorgeous. It makes you just want to hop in and enjoy yourself. You can see it's got a little footrest down below. Nice looking inviting carpet. The tan tweed fabric on the seats is spectacular, paired up with some beige vinyl. Really, really nice. Same great situation in the front. You can see we've got a working dome light and a tight tweed headliner. The same tweed theme with the beige, tweed, and brown goes onto the door panels here. Custom done. It was done, you know, back before 2000, but it doesn't look outdated. It looks quite nice still. It's a rather timeless looking design. You can see that we've got the door handle, a nice little armrest, and controls for power windows, which do work. Just like the rear seat, the front seat is very inviting, very comfortable, and power adjustable. Carpets in the front look just as good as the rear, and just like the rear, they are covered with carpeted floor mats to keep them looking nice. hope everybody noticed we do have seat belts front and rear for a nice safe trip. Door panels, all four of them look like they're in really great shape. Kick panels follow suit with the same material. You'll see down on the floor we've got a really long stalk for our automatic shifter for that turbo 350 3-speed auto trans, and an e-brake lever over here as well. The dash itself is a light almond painted dash, same color that is done as the window trim, as you can see, kind of a beige light almond color. Ahead of the driver, a Lucara wood steering wheel, 3-spoke, with a working Ford horn emblem. Nice and loud. And this is a tilt column. You can see back here, here's my tilt, and it does have working blinkers as well. I'm going to go ahead and tilt that back a little so we got a better view of the gauges. Gauges are all by VDO. They all work. They all backlight when you turn the lights on. Nice to have. Working gauges in an old car like this. You can see 25,891 on the odometer. This car had just over 20,000 miles on it in 2000 when the most recent owner purchased it. So it has been very sparingly driven every year since it was purchased in 2000. Nice looking aluminum gauge bezel, which repeats the theme over here in the center. It has a Pioneer stereo added into it. It's an AM/FM cassette unit. It works, it plays. There's a couple of speakers back in the rear package tray. It's not very loud. I'm not sure how to make it louder. You can hear it, but it's pretty faint, especially when the car is running. This large knob here in the center is a push-pull, which is supposed to open up. I'll try and push it. There we go. That opens up your cowl ventilator. It's a little difficult to do. You have to really give it some push like that, but you can see it opens up that cowl ventilator up front and brings some more fresh air into the car. This switch is for your lights. This switch is for your wipers. Down underneath here, these are the controls, fan, and then temperature for the vintage air and heat unit. Unfortunately, again, it doesn't blow hot nor cold, but the fan is nice and strong. On the passenger side, we've got a glove box, and inside of that glove box is your Ford V8 car reference book for 1936. Very cool to have. And along with this car come all of the receipts for any work that's been done to it, along with owner's notes since the year 2000. Over on the driver's side, under the dash, we have a Cobra CB radio. You don't see those very often anymore unless you're a trucker, but it does work. It's a CB. Somebody must have been a fan of them and put it in this car years and years ago, and well, it's still in here and it's still working. Down underneath, you can see the gas pedal, brake pedal, and that speaker in the middle, that Realistic brand Radio Shack speaker, is what the CB player, the CB radio goes through. And you'll see nice boots down on the floor for both the shifter and for the emergency brake. Up front, on the very top, a really cool feature, and it's not the little deodorizer thing that's stuck on here, which we probably should just pull off, is this crank. And I want you to watch. The crank actually opens out the bottom of the front windshield. Brings extra air into the car, gets some breeze going in here. Until you get that AC unit blowing cold again, that'll be real beneficial. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give this car a nice cold start so you can hear the rumble that comes through those headers, through a set of glass pack style mufflers, and out those trumpet tips on the rear. It does sound very nice. This car is carbureted, but it's an easy starting car. I'm gonna get one push. That easy. Very responsive throttle. See here, our water temperature is down at the very bottom. Oil pressure gauge, reactive. And you can see see our battery gauge is working. And we're kind of low on gas. I'll show you real quick here with the lights. I'm going to pull the lights on, and you can see the back lights on the gauges work just fine. You can see our dome light works, and the headlights are working up there as well. Turn that off. And then over here, this is for the wipers. Granted, they're not fast, they're not effective, but this is a 1936 car. Radio works, but again, very quiet. Maybe it just needs a little power amp. We'll turn on the fan here, get some air blowing, and it really does crank out the breezes. I mean, it cranks, and it's a moderate day here. It's in the high 70s in Columbus, so it's hard to really get a sense for it. The air coming out of here is kind of cool right now, but well, it's not a hot day outside. I'll show you our CB player works, or CB radio rather. Alright, I'm not going to hunt for somebody on there, but you can see that it works. And again, that working horn. I'm going to rev this just once or twice more because it sounds so nice. Oh yeah. Let's get out and give a listen. Super smooth running engine, tons of power. What a nice street rod we got here. Comfortable, well appointed inside, great looking body, killer engine. Listen to that. Nice aggressive exhaust rumble. Folks, if you got any questions about this 1936 Ford four-door slant-back sedan, give us a call. Here in Columbus at Cruisin Classics, our number is 614-276-7355. We can help you get financing on this beautiful ride. We can help you get it transported from our garage to your garage in an enclosed carrier. And we're here to answer your questions. Throw them at us. Give us a call, 614-276-7355. Again, you're with Cruisin Classics in Columbus, looking at a 1936 Ford four-door slant-back sedan with a 350 under the hood, an automatic transmission. This baby is ready to hit the road. Give us a call today, 614-276-7355. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow with something else cool.